Welcome to Factorio Space Exploration. My name is Nilaus, and I have a bit of a cold, so excuse the voice. I'll see if I can make it all the way through this episode in one piece. So, this episode, it's complicated. That's the title, and that's because the logistics of space exploration is getting kind of complicated, and it's very easy to just come up with some hacks and fixes, and then you end up with something that gets even more complicated and different for each and every product, and that's exactly what has happened despite all my good intentions. So let's first look at the problem right now. The first thing we need to do is look at energy science. This is the one we're really aiming for. So we need some Holmite plates, we need some significant data, we need energy catalog, we need energy insight, and we need some cold thermal fluid. They're all weird stuff. So I started with the first one, Holmite plate. Holmite is reached or is coming from, let's see, we can go up to, is it Lagogene? Yeah, I think there's this one, the volcanic planet. So we have on this planet, we have a little bit of Holmite here, 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 and here, and there. So there's a little bit of Holmite, about 2 million on this surface. Not much, but it's something. So that's what we want to access. So I'm going into my FNA, as that mod is correctly called. And then we take a look at it and go like, okay, plates come from ingots, good. Ingots come from molten, okay, cool. Comes from powder, yeah, sure, no problem. Comes from chloride, yeah, sure, no problem. Oh no, anion exchange anal beads. Oh no, that's not good. This is awful. All the other things were good, like the crushed comes from here, but this damn thing, these blue beads here, they are not fun. So they require cryonite. Cryonite comes from the ice planet. So right now we have a situation where we need something from the ice planet plus other stuff and then get it to this planet, which means, well, the way I've defined it right now is that I actually have, let's see if I can find it. I have all my stuff brought back here, there. I have a communicator here that requests. Oh, it doesn't really have anything. Oh, typical. So I'm requesting cryonite back in, and I'm requesting vulcanite. You can say cryonite and vulcanite. And they are being requested back to this location. So you say cryonite rod to Nauvis and vulcanite to Nauvis. So I created a specific channel specifically for this, which is hopeless. Hopeless. And then I bring them back here. Then I need to build this new stuff here as well, which I then need to find where the hell I built it. After 10 minutes of searching, I found it. It's right here. So here I am bringing in the vulcanite to make to make the red beads, and I'm going to be bringing in the cryonite to make the blue beads. They come up here, and then they are going to be shot back to the other planet. That means I'm shooting the cryonite. First of all, I'm building the cryonite on my ice planet. That makes sense, right? I'm building it here. It's not working for some reason. Oh, it's not working because of heavy oil. Another headache. But that's coming from here and then being shot back to Nauvis, and then from Nauvis it's being processed into these that then flies back over to Lagogene and then becomes part of the Holmite, which then has to go somewhere. It's not working. So, not working. Cancel, start over. Or, well, let's take a look at how these things actually work. So, if you have, let's just take this one. If you have a shooty, I don't even know what they're called, a delivery cannon, then the delivery cannon has one product selected and one destination selected. So they are very strict one-to-one locations. They can't shoot at other locations, so if you need to deliver this to 3 different locations, you need 3 different shooters, 3 different canisters. You can shoot many things to the same canister, but you can't. Every product and origin has to be a separate cannon. That means it kind of escalates. Contrary to that, when we have this, we can actually just say any name with a location such as this, then we can go to that location and it will launch, which is what we've done already. That means this is a one-to-many network. So these are just standing here waiting for any location in the world to say, give me 25,000 green engines or 25,000 blue engines, or, you know, anything else will just be requested in at the rate. If I have one of these and if I just set it here, it'll come flying in. Awesome. So that's that means we need to sort of, if we have something that's distributed to many locations, it should be by rocket. If we have something that's delivered in small quantities to a specific location, we should use this. So that means, what are we going to do today? We are going to go to Lego here and say, what are the things that we want to transport off this planet? Well, it's going to be the vulcanite. So scrap all of this and put it in a rocket instead. And it's going to be Holmite that we haven't done yet, but started this doing a little bit of design work for. Those will be the two products that come out of this, so they must be on trains. No, trains. They must be on rockets. So they need to have sort of some stringent new rocket design that we can use. Likewise, on the ice planet, we're going to take a look at this and say, what is the stuff we want out? It's the cyanide rod. And, you know, we should also consider that it'll probably be beryl as well. That's probably another thing we'll bring out from this location. There's some beryl, and that will be brought out as beryllium eventually. Not a lot, though, but we do have some. So we should also prepare that and have more stringent build of this. So that is the plan for today. On top of that, we're also going to make a space hub. So let's start with the space hub. And just before we get started on the space hub, I have a few presents for you. This is presents for the patrons who are supporting. I have added some new designs, a new cool blue circuit design that uses the Mark III modules and also the new beacons and the space exploration beacons. So we got this one going. We also have a new design for red circuits. Very nice. Oh, I love these designs. They're so crisp. And even better, we also have for green circuits. So what I have now is new updated designs, and I'm not sharing blueprints, but any patrons can always just grab a save game and then they can grab these designs. They're pretty neat, I think. So let's jump back into orbit. We're here and take a look at the space hub. So the space hub starts by making a decision. I make the decision that anything that I produce on Nauvis, that I can produce on Nauvis, I should be producing there for the hub. So that means I'm just looking at, okay, how much do I need of all the different things in orbit here, and then just kind of request it. So for example, this is module Mark III. Yeah, you know what? I can take more of these modules. I can also take more of these modules. You know, this is just getting a sense of how many of everything do I need. 200? Nah, let's get 400. This one as well. Let's get 400 of those. Just, you know, we need a lot of that. 200 here and 100 of each of these, and over here we also have lots of other stuff that we just need in higher quantity. It's all good. And then what I do is I take this number, get it for all of these. So if I need something more, that's basically what I want to have in orbit here. Then I take that. Then I also deduct, this is the minus, deduct all the stuff we already have in the logistics. So that means it comes in everything we have in the logistics network, -1, that gets in here, and then it comes out as a positive. It just takes only the stuff that's greater than 0. That means anything that we have. So this is now being told to this power pole, and therefore also to this sender, signal transmitter. All the stuff that we don't have, that we'd like to have in orbit, that we don't have right now. So for example, we don't have a single blue circuit in orbit. Is that really true? Inserter? Yeah, we don't have any blue inserters in orbit. Ah, interesting. So this information goes back into the signal transmitter, which is on a special channel called Space Hub. I will now go back and see if we can find the Space Hub location. Where are you? There. This is the new Space Hub location. This is Space Hub. It comes in. It takes all the stuff. This is on a red signal. All the stuff that's being requested. It feeds it in here. And it only feeds it in when the rocket is ready to go. The reason why it's -1 is because I turn all the signals out. I take all the stuff in here. So basically the calculation is, I have a target number in orbit, then I deduct how much I have in orbit, then I deduct all the stuff that's inside the cargo rocket. And that gives me a request here for all the things that are still outstanding. So the only thing outstanding is stack inserters. All the other things have been put in here, and they are now ready to be launched. There are some weird small things like batteries, for example, and you can see some coils and something. That's just inherently in the way that it works, that sometimes a robot will come pick up one barrel and then it'll try to pick up 3. That means it goes to -1, which means that there'll be some small junk request here. Don't really care about it. They'll disappear. And you can see what's being delivered to this location. And once we then feel that it's enough, we can just see this is where it's at. Every time it gets in, it just reduces. You can see it now reduces. So once this is ready, we can just launch the rocket. There we go. Now nothing is being requested here and nothing is inbound for delivery. We have some content here, but obviously this is not what we should be launching with. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to do it. I'm saying to Nilaus Orbit, to Nilaus Orbit Hub, and launch trigger none. I'm just launching this manually. I would like to have a automatic trigger, but I don't think that we'll ever launch this with full cargo ever. So it'll probably be something that something runs out and then we'll have to launch another rocket. So we'll, if you have a good idea to what could be a launch trigger, then let me know. You can also see here the stuff that would be in the rocket here would now be still requested, but it's not being requested because we don't have a built rocket. So now it focuses on building the rocket before it starts actually requesting more stuff, which means gives us time to come up here and catch the stuff and then start throwing it out into this box, and then becomes part of the network. We can now see the network here. This is all the stuff that's being requested, and it just slowly decreases. Hopefully it decreases all the way as it goes in. And that means now we have a way to get what we want into orbit in a very clean way. That means the only thing we need to build in the hub, in the space hub, is all the stuff that can't be built in on the ground. And it's actually not as much as I thought. It is primarily stuff that's built in these big ones. So space platforms, and then some weird machines, growth facility. I'm not actually requesting all the stuff here. I could request all these stuff, but they're super expensive, and I don't know if I only need one of those. And I mean, I need a nutrient rat. I don't even know what that is now. I can just say these are all the weird stuff that I can build. The stuff that I need, I will build that. But I don't know an astrometrics facility. When I need it, I'll build it. And that's going to be it. Actually, what I do want is I want to make sure that we have just reduced the power of consumption for each of these. Not by too much. There. Like that. There you go. That'll help a little bit. The other things we have is, you can see here, I am producing the space transfer belts quite rapidly and then feeding it directly into these 2 locations that will then make it into the undergrounds and the splitters. And then we have also a decontamination facility that also can be built here. But aside from that, we really don't have a lot of things built. The pipes and the assemblers, we don't really need to build them here, but I'm building them anyway. And then here we also have the space manufacturers that need it. So this is basically the space hub. It has plenty of room to expand. I thought I would use way more of the small ones, but that turns out not to be the case because I'm not building the stuff that I need. So now we have a space hub. Everything we need in orbit is here. That is excellent. And you know what? I'm actually going to take some of that out and start flexing it over here. And we're going to be building something. Oh, that was actually not very clean. There. Yeah. And here. And actually only wanted to go to this location. There we go. And that will now be... We need 2 more of these locations. One here, and I could make it like this. Yeah, let's do that. Here, and then we do this part. And for some reason we don't have these. So that would actually be a good idea to bring those into orbit as well. 1, 2, and what else what's the last one? That is one of these. We can always just craft those kind of things. And this will now be renamed. We need to rename it into something else. I don't want to rename it this, then it starts launching stuff. So I need to, let's see, I need to get this name. And they will now be renamed into the 2 new stuff that needs to be launched. And that is the Cryonite coming in. Cryonite coming in, yes. And the other one is the Vulcanite coming in there. Because they need to come in not by rocket or by shooty, but they need to come in by rockets when we get that done. So now we're back on Legogene, and this is our volcanic planet making Vulcanite. Surprise, surprise. And I'm going to disable this because this one with Vulcanite to Nilaus orbit, I don't need those anymore. Goodbye. Oops. I do need the power going upwards. So all this just disappears now. All of this. And that also just means that this, for example, which has been shooting diligently, I don't need it. The thing is, I might need it again. So I'm keenly aware of that I might need it again. But right now, I don't need it. And I don't want it either. So let's take those out, because right now, the only way we're going to get is we are going to send with the Vulcanite is now going out here. See, I put some shooties so we can protect this planet a little bit. It would be suck to lose one of these. And now I made a little more generic build that fits in a substation grid where we have a location. This is now going up to 90,000 and it's pretty close to done, isn't it? So this will need to go. It'll go to any landing pad with any name, and this one will go to the landing pad there. And it gets liquid fuel. This is a small planet, so it's easy to get out of, but it's missing some sections. And this one should be launch on cargo full. Then I'll go to any one of these. I only have one right now, the one we built in Nilaus orbit, and I'll need to build one on Nilaus as well. But we do have a cargo rocket issue. So what we need to do is we need to make 2 different locations. This one is just importing stacked cargo locations, or stacked cargo bot. Because if we want to start sending things out with rockets, we need to make sure that we have a way to get rockets back onto this location. And when we launch a rocket to this location, any rocket, for example, with me in it, for example, it comes in here. It will have some, it'll have a space capsule that survives. It will have some space sections that survive. I need to take those out. And then I need to make sure that they go back into this location. This is just request a million of these. Well, maybe not 100, but whatever. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. I need to get that in here because that will fill up. And then I also need to get in the cargo rocket sections and the space capsule. Those go in. This is constrained by only 1. This is constrained by 100 sections. This is constrained by 100 sections. So this is making sure that we are getting all we need in here. And they're being requested. There's one little thing that I think I need to change. I don't think this one should be 100. I think it should just be 20. I'll probably be fine. And there. So they can fill this up. I don't know what this will be. It'll probably be for the beryllium once we... Oh, the Holmite. When we get the Holmite, which will be in one of the next episodes, we'll just have a location ready to send Holmite wherever we want it. Cool. But the thing is, are we going to land a full rocket worth of these blue beads? No. We're probably just going to shoot it because the recipe that involves these beads was here. It has a 50% recovery rate. So I'm not going to use like a ton of these, I think. Anyway, maybe. We'll see. But this is going to be more of a robust thing. I'm going to build the same thing on Boreas. Exactly the same issue on Boreas. We need to disable this because this is Cryonite to Nilaus orbit. Those are being retired. And this needs to retire. And all this needs to retire. And all this needs to retire. It's a little bit of a shame because I just built it. But yeah, it kind of has to be this way. And all of that stuff just needs to get out as well. So what we have instead is we get all the Cryonite we get here. This should be improved because it was the starter build. It was before we had modules or beacons. So we really need beacons going in here and building this bigger. Also, we can see here, this is the new build and follow the same robust pattern as the previous. We have one that is just for a random landing pad, and then we have one that is dedicated to these cargo rocket sections. And this is coming in. It is going to any landing pad with the name Cryonite Pad, and the launch will be when cargo is full, which it unfortunately isn't going to be anytime soon. We also need the sections coming in here. So we do have like a lot of stuff. This one will be probably reserved for beryllium whenever we get that, but I just wanted to make 2 in each place so we get the sense. So at this point, what do we need to do now? Well, we need to go back to Navis and make a receiver for these 2, and then we need to make a sender for rocket parts. So this is the location where we would be receiving the cryonite rods and the vulcanite rods that we have now decommissioned. So we decommissioned this part as well. And it actually just so happens that I am going to decommission this entire tray. Oh, I don't like that. Let's just cut it out for now. So here we go. This is actually working, I think. How much do you have? Oh, you don't even have enough. Let's just fill you up here. So the way it works is that I will be having 8,000 in this. There'll be 8,000 in this one, and this. There will be 16,000 in the train when it's idle. There'll be 8,000 in each of these when it's idle. And if there's any excess, it'll be stuck in here. And because it's stuck in here, it won't launch or it won't request anything. And that will just be a vulcanite. So this is going to be our design also for the cryonite. So let's build a similar cryonite up here and then just kind of leach the water, this part over here. And this is now the cryonite rod that is requested here. And this is set up to cryonite. And we have a cryonite train. And that's similar to this train. And these are just the more updated ways of loading and unloading. So that's now ready. One more thing that we need to do, and that is the rocket train, or the rockets sending just rocket parts. And I think if I'm just scrolling around like an idiot here, I think I maybe be able to find it. Here we go. This one is special. Very special. Very, very special. It has 476, not just rocket parts, 476 stacked or packed rocket parts, and 23 rockets. So that's actually the correct ratio at our current sort of expectation here to fill up entirely one of these. And that will go to any landing pad that has this one. It says launch on cargo full, and it's missing 1. That's funny because I've actually set these very specifically to this one. 24 of those. Oh, right. Of course, it counts the one that's already in. So this one should be 25. That's actually perfect because otherwise it would have launched. Can I just jump into this one? Let me just jump into it. And jump in. There. So now we're inside. We have these 2 positions. I don't know which one it's going to go to. But it's not launching when full because this one is set to 24 and it should be 25. Because it's 24 in this storage plus 1 that's actually necessary. And as soon as I do this, it should be launching. Oh, that's perfect. I love when things work. And I was so fortunate that it did not launch by accident. So now we should see that it lands on either Lego or on Boreas. And from there, we should then get the rocket parts. I really hope it goes to Boreas. I don't know which one it goes to, but it'll go to one of them. And here we go. It went to Boreas. Perfect. I think that... actually, I wanted to go to Lego. Anyway. Then let's see if this idea works. We should be getting all the stuff outbound here. That will fill up here. This one will fill up here. It'll only put on 10 of those because I want to make sure that this stays full of stuff. And there. So now this is full of exclusively 434 of the kind. That means this one is closed, not receiving anything. And we have storage available. We have stuff available. We have set all the partial parts. Set those in here. And then now we're sort of working on unpacking the other ones, going in. It works perfectly. I love it. I love it. And we should also see this one coming. Now this one should be launching on cargo full. It's not actually cargo full, but we could pretend, right? We can pretend. Let's pretend that it was full and then see the whole thing in action. This will launch to either back to Novus or it will launch to Novus orbit. I don't know which one's going to be. With either one, it's nice because we need it in both places. So we will just pretend that it's full and launch away. And that means this... Now I just kind of triggered it, but this will be fully automated, launching a rocket when needed, and it will actually also request rocket parts as needed, because that's now fully automated as well. That is absolutely glorious. This is exactly what you want. And now turning from super complicated. Oh. What happened? Cargo sustained damage in transit, is off course. Cargo pods deployed safely but missed the landing pad. Needs to be collected. Oh no, that was 99. Let me just check how big the percentage chance was, or if it was me being an idiot and not sending it correctly. Please not me being an idiot. No, I did send it correctly, and it had, oh, I don't know how much. What if we just select Novice Orbit? It had 97% chance of hitting it, and yet it didn't. Oh well. That's fine. Well, we got to see that, and I really don't want my robot to pick this up. Let's see. Can I just disable my robot port? There you go. I don't want to pick that up. I want the house robots to pick it up. And that should actually go in here, but it doesn't. Ah, this is interesting. I need to get all of that in there. The cyanide rods. So that's, well, I guess we clean this up. So I flew back to Novice, and, well, I've been standing here waiting for a while. We have quite a few put in here, but it's certainly not enough. And I think that it's good enough for us. Like, you can also see now that we're only getting 16, now 17 inbound, and we're requesting 20. And that is simply because if we look at it, it simply can't keep up. This is the one. This is where we're building it. It is a pretty good build, I think. It's not exactly at ratio, but, you know, whatever is. But it's working, it's chugging along, and, you know, it'll make a few of these, and I could sit here and wait for it to go, but I could also just be a little bit more excited and just try launching it. So what should happen? First, we went to Boreas, and that is now full. Let's confirm that. We went to Boreas, and that should... This one still has stuff in it, 400, so that's not going to receive anything. So we should be getting... And this is also woefully empty. This really needs to scale up. And then what we should be doing instead, we should be going to Lego, because we have this one that's available, open and good, and that will enable us to actually get this part ready. We have no sections here, but we have a pretty close to full location. So I will be launching and then just hoping that we end at the right location. Let's go, and let's hope it doesn't blow up this time. That was a little bit of a disappointment that it blew up. And you can also see that this is a huge buffer we built of those stacked cargo sections and capsules on each planet. It's just a one-time thing. We build it, it's done. At least, hopefully no one will blow it up. Hey, we hit the location this time. Look at that. Coming in. And there we go. They go out. These sections here are going to be transported, please. Pick up. Okay, they're being picked up, and they go directly in, and they start filling up this location. So we're getting the cargo sections, and we're also processing them here, and that should just fill this up. And what about, we are at... Oh, right, I don't think these two get removed until the cargo's rocket is actually done. Let me just jump into it, because this one is already set to cargo full, and it will launch to a location. So basically, as far as I understand, as soon as this one goes to 100, these two will open up, and as they open up, we'll be putting in more vulcanite. When it's at 500, then it will launch. I think that's how it goes. It might... No, it won't be doing anything else. Yeah, let's see how that works. So right now, we're just... The cool thing is that we can see that the normal sections, the ones that come from the rocket that crashes, they are the ones being used first, and then they get stuck here with the stacked ones in that location, and we just wait for this one to process. It doesn't have to be fast. It's launching so random or so rarely that we can wait for this. So remember, I'm streaming this on Twitch. I'll be waiting for this to accrue. Streaming this on Twitch 1 or 2 times a week, on Sundays, and usually sometimes maybe another day as well. Usually Wednesdays. Of course, with Dyson Sphere coming out, that's going to be sort of intersecting a little bit with the with the agenda, but I want to continue to play Dyson Sphere, and when it comes out, or when I get access to it, I'm probably going to get it early access. You heard it here first. And then, of course, continuing the space exploration series. So come by on Twitch, Twitch TV/Nilaus at 8 p.m. Central European Time. I stream 4 days a week, and almost always on Sundays, it's Factorio. There we go. This one will now be launching the rocket, and as I projected, these 2 slots will now be open, and they will fill up slowly. And as they fill up, we will see... There we go. Am I in the rocket? I'm not... Oh, I'm in the rocket. Oh, I thought I was not in the rocket. Oh, no. Good. All right, I'm launching. Perfect. And this one is already starting to put into the next one. All right, so where is it going to go? Probably going to go to orbit. It seems like orbit was closer or faster or whatever. So we'll go to orbit. Probably go to orbit first. Yes, it was. Hey, and we hit it this time, actually. Nice. So we now have all of our orbital needs fulfilled here. We have the cryonite that we got in right before. And now we also have vulcanite. 99,000 of that. Great. And that just goes in on our bus. And that will just keep us happy and flowing for a very long time. And we also have the space hub that is up here. Really happy. So now we are ready to continue with all the stuff. That means scaling up and doing cooler designs for the cryonite rods and the vulcanites. If you want to use beacons, we can get the holmite, which is definitely something. And then, most importantly, of course, work our way towards... let's see. This is the energy science. There's energy science pack. Yes, energy science pack. Holmite. Then looking at significant data, energy catalog, energy insights, and cold thermal fluid. Those are the stuff that we need to work on in the next live stream and in the next YouTube episodes. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was entertaining, useful, instructive, and this is now how finally I think how I'm going to structure my my rocket setup, so that they will be automatically sending rocket parts and automatically sending all the stuff out in big rocket chunks, 100,000 stacks at a time, or yeah, 100,000 items at a time. Thank you for watching. If you want the designs, you can pledge on Patreon, and then you get access to all the save games, and you can snatch whatever design you want. And until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.